Welcome back, Vigor Warriors. Welcome back to Vigor Warriors 2. I took a day off yesterday and back again with another video. This one is going to be interesting. I saw a great video and I want to give a shout out to RONIN. I think it's RONIN, and I'm going to leave the link below. Talking about the best shield you need for nofap. I'm going to refer to it more as a helmet or a weapon that you need to have. And so we're going to talk about this weapon a little bit. But before I'm going to do that, I like to always I'm going to start using quotes a little bit too. And so there's a bunch of quotes we're going to use today. But the one quote I want to start with is there from Alexander the Great. And Alexander says, "There has been a constant war, a war with fear. Those who have courage to conquer it are made free. And those who are conquered by it are suffered until they have the courage to defeat it." So warriors, there's no way that you're going to be able to overcome things unless you take the courage to fight it. And so this is why it's always important to battle on and keep battling through all the things you're going through. Continue to battle the journey, because the warrior is never finished, and there's always going to be enemies at the door. There's going to be temptation all over the place, and you're going to have to kind of fight through it every day you're here. And so keep battling. Now, the one thing I want to kind of focus on that this thing's talked about, and something that hit me during the journey. Now, this didn't happen during the journey. For many years, as I said, I never even tried to grow a beard, grow anything, because I felt like that I couldn't do it. And I think a lot of you are probably like that. And so then when I hit my journey, all of a sudden I had this yearning, some kind of drive down deep to actually grow my beard. And I did it for 6 months, and I stopped it because I think I got influenced too much by the people around me, and so they didn't really want me to have hair. And it just like we'll talk about in a second, society kind of tells you that. And so I went off of it. But once I went off of it again, and on this journey, I just felt like that I had a burning desire to have hair. And so watching this show, I was very intrigued, because I think there's a lot of truth to this. And so I'm going to kind of talk about some things that they mention, because hair is something that's very underrated. And in our society, we've been told to be clean cut, and we don't need to have our hair, and it looks better, and I obviously want it groomed and things like that. So, you just can't let it grow without, trying to take care of it. However, a lot of people are afraid and don't want to grow hair. And I think there's a lot of advantages to it, and this show kind of showed it out. So I'm going to talk about this a little bit as we delve into this. But go ahead, please subscribe, comment, like. I take a lot of your comments and go with them and work on that. So Yogi Abraham, I think I pronounced it right, said our hair might be considered a fashion, and that's what usually it is, right? But we investigate, we may find that we've been depriving ourselves of one of the most valuable sources of energy, of human vitality and spiritual growth. And maybe this is why I had felt a need to grow hair, because I do think there's a lot of energy sources there that are positive, and I'm going to kind of talk about these a little bit. And everybody can grow a beard. I didn't think I could grow one, and this is the second time I'm trying it, and I don't think I'm going to go back. I just feel so good with it, and there's so many advantages that we're going to talk about in a second. One of them talks about the Kundalini, and it's activated, and also Kundalini means a coil of hair, so it kind of refers to hair, is what they talked about in the show, and it affects the chakra in your brain. And I'll talk about chakras more when we talk about the Stopping the Aging Process and Fountain of Youth book that I'm going to review at some point as well. But I think that the hair, according to this show, emits energy. And I think that's a very important thing to look at, that I did not realize until I thought about this. And it does emit energy. I think a lot of times I felt more confident, even more confident with my beard and mustache than I did before. And I think that's something to kind of think about as you're trying to move through this journey, that you may find yourself with a deep desire to grow hair more. And hair is growing more, which is one of the benefits of being on the journey. I also think that it talks about the fact that sexual frustration has come from a lot of people, when they cut their hair, right? And that could be. I'm not positive about that, and obviously I don't have any scientific proof, but I think that's very interesting. And I think it also talks about that hair allows you to avoid diseases of throat, gum, respiratory system, and that's possible. I've never seen any research on that, but I think that that's also possible. It's almost like that's what they talk about as a shield, but I'll talk about it as a helmet or a weapon. I think that you need to look at the beard as almost like something that protects you. And they even mentioned during the show that it would talk about helping you against female attraction as well. That females will be attracted to you, but it gives you a lot more confidence to kind of know that you have this, and that the female energy may not affect you as much. I don't know that for sure, but I do know that as I'm looking at this more, I do feel more confident in having my hair. So now they talk about, interesting enough, it stops bacteria. Now that's interesting because they talk about the fact that shaving bacteria to grow really kind of allows, when you shave, you allow bacteria to grow, and you don't get as much vitamin D from the sunlight. That the sunlight helps the hair. So it talks about that because cuts you get when you shave, you end up getting more bacteria. So I thought that was fascinating. And vitamin D, obviously, through your hair is very important. And they also talk about the spiritual aspect of it, as experiencing more religious types of freedom. So, in a spiritual sense, if you grow your hair. So, and they also talk about the fact that if God made you, He wouldn't give you hair unless you want to use it. And so I think that's very, very fascinating. And there's another one of the, I think it was C. Young, they mentioned in here, talking about that each part of the body, including hair, has a highly sensitive work to perform for the survival and well-being of the body as a whole. The body has a reason for every part of itself. And hair is energy. So it's interesting. They talk about trimming hair is a problem. You should not be doing that. You should allow it to grow. So can it protect you from succubuses and energy? I believe it might. Now I'm going to test it out. Obviously, this is something that is, again, as I grow my hair, we're going to see if it's any different between now and it was before. In the 6 months that I didn't do it, and the 6 months that I did do it. So we'll see what happens in the difference here between it. But I do believe that I do feel a lot more confident when it happens. And the fact that, as my hair is growing, I'm able to, seem like I have more of a confidence level, more of a protection. I'm not sure exactly why, but I do think that some of the things mentioned in the show that I think is important to look at. So once again, take a view. I really highly recommend this RONIN, RONIN, and it's nofap. I think it's a shield for nofap, and I think it's a good way to put it. I would say more of it's a weapon. You need to have this weapon along with you as you battle the energy suckers and the people who are trying to take your energy away. And once again, I think as you look at this, it's very important to know what types of things you're dealing with. I think that you have the ability to keep your energy and to really benefit from that and become the man and woman you should be. I mean, obviously, talking more about men, but I think women who refrain from this type of behavior have a lot of benefits as well, and they're able to contain their energy, and that's a very positive. Now, I wouldn't obviously talk about the hair part of it, even though women grow, women technically have a lot of longer hair, and so maybe there's a reason for that too, and maybe that's part of the same reason we're talking about and how important hair is. It's very, very interesting type of thing to look at. So I was very intrigued by this. I was very positive to kind of focus on what the importance of hair is, and it's really something to kind of look into. So I think certainly I've had a desire to have more hair as time has gone on, and I'll continue doing that because I believe that there are benefits, and it's important to kind of go ahead and look at that. And so that's why I say that don't discount the idea of having a beard. I know it might be hard to grow one. You think you can't grow one, and I thought I couldn't grow one for 8 years, and then I decided I'm going to do it. I'm going to try it and see, and the benefits I've had is outstanding, and I'm not going to stop anymore. And so that's why now you see it growing in, and it's getting better. It's going to take some time, but once again, it's going to grow better and better each time. All right, so guys, anyway, focusing on this, it's important to kind of look at one of these weapons that you have to deal with in this battle. Don't underestimate it. And for some young people, If you haven't tried it, try it and see how you feel about it. I don't necessarily think it's a bad idea to kind of experiment once in a while and see the effects it has on you. I do believe you'll have a lot more confidence. I do believe you'll have a lot more motivation to continue to be on this journey you're on. And I think it's all going to be a positive type experience. And I think the main thing is you can kind of keep your energy and avoid all those people trying to take your energy away. So, till next time, battle on, warriors, battle on.